it almost becomes a buffet. You know, a buffet is different from waiting tables. And I see the code as something best served on a buffet. Because a buffet means you get what you need when you need it. It's all right there. And it's open access. I'm not going to make you eat your salad before you get your steak. It's open access. If you want to write about your mouse, help yourself. If you're looking to write about your ballerina or your baseball player, whatever it is you're looking to read or write about, the skills that you need are open and plentiful and here. And it's not something where I'm going to deliver them to you at specific intervals based on what I think or what my curriculum tells me I need to do. Now, I'm not saying you want to thwart your curriculum. Your curriculum is laid out in a nice kind of check and balanced way, but you need as much of the code as early as you can get it to fully partake in these reading and writing experiences, because the more you bring to the table, the more value you take away. So the goal of the game is, how much can we give our kids to have, to own, to feel comfortable with, so that when we write about something or read about something, they're more fully able to dive in and engage, and not just dive in with 4 letters and 10 sight words. That doesn't necessarily motivate them to take the most out of those rich literacy experiences. Now, the part of the brain that would make Johnny's cheeks blush if he had to square dance with a little girl in music class is the same part of the brain that's going to store this skill. And that's a really neat thing, to think that we can trick that part of the brain into storing something that has no business being here. It's supposed to be up at the higher level executive functioning center that may or may not be intact. But we don't need to wait for it. We're not a slave to that readiness. We can get around that weak area and bypass it and tap into an area that we know is already strong and expert and up and running. Now, telling a story is the easiest way to engage this affective feeling domain, because stories activate all areas of the brain, well, many more areas of the brain than direct instruction. And it's the emotional part of the brain that we want to trigger for deeper connections. So the trick is to artificially weave skills in such a way that we can take advantage of those parts of the brain that learners are already strong with. It's interesting if you think about, a pre-kindergartner. You don't have to tell them or to direct them how to feel if no one wants to play with them at recess. You don't have to say, Johnny, listen, you have no friends and nobody wants to be with you. You should be crying. Would you like me to write in your journal like a sad face with some tears, and then that way tomorrow if you bring it to recess and you don't know what to do when nobody wants to play with you, you can look at your journal and it'll tell you should cry. You don't have to memorize what just makes sense. So if we're tapping into an area that drives their decision making and their behavior on a constant basis, we're just letting that area drive the decision making to work with all of this unfamiliar text. So that's the direction that we're actually headed, taking advantage of that area that they are so strong with from the earliest time before they get to us. Stories do receive special treatment in the brain. The more widespread the connections, the deeper the learning. And what I did with that little girl, by the way, was not lost time. She now has the stepping stone to what is decoding or encoding, which means if she hears a sound, she knows right away what makes it. If I show her this, the sound pops right out of her mouth. That's all you have to do when you're reading or writing. Only difference is she doesn't know what her superpower's for yet. She's like Superman before he realizes he's Superman. He just breaks things all the time. He doesn't know why until he finds out, oh, this is handy. I can use this for something. But it's an amazing thing to think we can go through the back door and give learners, not teach them, give them things that will then be ready for their use when they need to and are given the opportunity, which we do starting in pre-K and kinder, to use them, get them that leg up. And by the way, it keeps Dick Allington's premonition, or I guess it wouldn't be a premonition because it's already come true. It keeps what he says from coming true, in that we're not now giving you guys less than you. Because on a buffet, it's here. It's chicken salad. You already showed me you know how to get to it, because when I held it up, you said it. Or when I said it, you showed me what it looked like. So you know where the chicken salad is, and you know where the chicken salad is. Just because he's got a fork and he's ready to dive into it and she just wants her peanut butter, I offered the chicken salad. They both have it. I didn't hold it back from you, but gave it to you. So it's a great way to make sure that you are still differentiating your instruction in your guided group to see, who's ready, who's using what for what purpose, and leveling that text. But you're not holding back skills. You're not holding back those valuable pieces of the code that make up everything they're going to do throughout every moment of your day, starting in kindergarten.